Okay, perfect. So we're good to go. So it looks like we've got 13 on. So I think almost everyone is back on. So we should be good. Okay, I'm going to get started. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Obviously, doing everything with the computer makes it a little more difficult when I can't see everyone. I can't be there to help you. So glad everything is working now. If there's any issues at all, if you don't mind sending a chat to Deb, that would be great because she can keep track of the messages or let me know if there's a problem or if I'm you're unable to hear me, or if you need me to repeat something, or if there's a question along the way. So I'll be doing the Cloud CMA. We're actually going to be doing a little bit deeper into Cloud today. What I'm going to be showing you is how to edit your reports once they're completed, how to do lead generation, how to create flyers, how to create presentations that you can use in your listings, which are really good too, buyer tours, and we'll do a few things in settings too. So I'm going to walk you through all that. So we're going to start off, if you go in Paragon and go under your resources, we are going to go into Cloud CMA. One second here, I got to move my little box here. Okay, so we're going to go under our resources and we're going to go to Cloud CMA, should be on the left side of your screen. So it should be under Agent Tools, second one down. And once you select that, it should take you to your main page. You do have to register, so if you have not used Cloud CMA yet, you will have to register and create an account before you're able to get in. But Debbie was great. She added some handouts for you. We've been trying to write these as we go, so they pretty much walk you through the same steps we'll be doing today. So later on, if you need to go back through it, you'll have something to go by. And it will be on the right side of your screen for those handouts. And I'll remind you about it again at the end, but it should be on the right side. And it looks like she's got two handouts. They're both PDFs. And you should be able to click on them and they should download to your computer and then you can print it or just look at it from your computer. But we try to have them pretty simple to use, step by step. So hopefully this will help you. Okay, so let's, I'm in my Cloud CMA right now. So what I'm going to do is actually start off with a CMA I've done before. I did this for the last class because I want to walk you through actually making changes and editing and adding more listings or removing listings from your report or anything you might need to do to make changes to a report that you've created already. So if you have a CMA, you should have in the top left of your screen. So it should say CMA, there's a tab right here. If you click on it, it will open up all the CMAs you have saved. And if you go to anyone that is okay for you to mess with, you don't want to use one that you're about to send to a client, but something that you can go in and make changes to, just so that way you're not messing up one that you might be using for a presentation for an actual listing. So if you go to one of the actual CMAs, at the bottom right corner of the box, it should say Edit. It's going to be in the bottom right corner of any of your CMAs. So look for whichever one you want to use, select Edit in the bottom right corner. And what that's going to do is actually take you through the first step of the 4 tabs that we use to create it. So when you first create the CMA, you're in Paragon, you're finding your listings that you want to use, you're selecting them, and there's an action link that you can select Cloud CMA, and it pulls those MLS numbers in here for you. So when it brings them in, it's dropping them right here at the bottom where it says exact listings by MLS number here on the left. So if you need to change this at all, remove one, add more, you can do it right from here. You would just click on the last one you have, select a comma, and type in or copy and paste in the number of the MLS number that you want to put in. So any additional listings can be added to your report right from here. If you decide there's something here you don't want to use, it can be used, removed from here, but what I find it's easier to do it on the next screen where you can actually see the property address, you can see photos and more information, and then you can uncheck it on the next screen over. You can also add additional MLS numbers on the next screen too. So you do have 2 options of doing this, from your first tab, which is our criteria tab, our very beginning, or the second one under listings. You can also rename this, add additional notes. If you need to change the property address or any of the information it pulls for you, you can make those changes right through here. Just go ahead and type them all in. And then the second step will be to update it. So you do need to hit Update Listings to save any change you made. So if you did add a new MLS number or made changes here to criteria, make sure you select that Update Listing. I didn't make any changes, so I'm going to skip over to the next one. So if I don't make changes or I don't need this tab, I can actually click on that next tab at the very top left. So criteria is the first one we're on. Second one is listings. I click on that and it takes me to the next section. The map should load at the top here. and you should have the information subject property. This is where you can set your price. So if I want to tell my listing presentation maybe a price range that I feel the house would be good to list at, I can type that in. So maybe I want to say it's between $230,000 and then just put a dash and say $240,000. So I can just type that in right up here. If you want to put a specific amount, you can. I can just put $240,000 and just say that's my suggested list price for them. If you use this section and add a price in, the next step in here is this net sheet. So I can actually break down all of their costs here to give them an idea of what their bottom line is going to be. If I'm going on a presentation for a listing, I may not know what their mortgage balance is, if there's an equity line. So I probably won't be able to put that information in unless they've told it to you. So you can still add in any other expenses, obviously, that you know of. So for example, would be their title work. If you have an idea of what their title work is going to be, type that in, type in the amount here on the right. And what you'll notice is as I type in the amount right below it, and I hit save, is that $240,000 I suggested, it starts to reduce it right here. So it's going to break it down and give them what their net's going to be at the end. So then I can add in here what their taxes are going to be for their state taxes, their transfer. So you can figure those out. So you're basically working from that $240,000 that you're suggesting and breaking it down for them. If you don't put a suggested list price, this will still break down all the costs. It just won't have a net for you. It'll have a negative amount at the end. So you can still work this out for them without having a suggested list price. Okay. If you don't want to use anything in here, there's always a little trash button here on the right. You can actually trash it, and it will remove it for you. And you can see the price guide here also will break down the comps that I've selected and give me the suggested range from what I have for sold and actives and all of them. Okay, so that is your pricing. So I'm going to close this out. Under there is going to be the actual listings that I'm using. So those are the MLS numbers I pulled in from Paragon. You can see at the bottom, there's add a listing. So if I want to add additional one, I don't want to do it on the first page, I can type in that MLS number right here. I can also add something that's off market. So maybe it was never listed in Paragon, or it was a for sale by owner. I can type in all the information here and also include that in my report. And then of course you can add a file. So that's to add a photo if you do add one that's, for example, for sale by owner, and then you want to select add listing. This advanced info does give you more information on that property, so you can get pretty detailed about the criteria on that property, or the characteristics of the house that you're adding in. Okay. Now the listings that are here already, I'm going to actually hit cancel. You can see they're check marked on the right. If I want to see more information and check these again, underneath that check mark, it's details and adjustments. You select details and adjustment. It opens up the photos. It opens up all the information about the property and public remarks and more features. So from here, if I decide this is not a good comp, I want to remove it, I can just uncheck it and it makes it lighter here. You can see at the top, and it won't include it in my report. If I want to keep it in, I keep it check marked. If you want to see the photos, there's an arrow here. You can arrow from here, or you can actually click on it. Let's see if it gives me the option here to open it. No, it's not going to at this point. So you'll have to arrow through the smaller photos, hoping I can open a larger view for you. And if you go down to the very bottom, there's an area for adjustments. So I may pull all the comps in an area, but maybe they're not really good comps. Maybe my client has a finished basement, a swimming pool, and none of those other comps that I'm using do, and I can't find anything else to use. I can make adjustments on the value right from here. So I can put in here unfinished basement on this property and give more value and say, an extra $5,000 for the price. And that's going to actually increase, once I save it, it's going to actually increase it and move that adjusted price to $215. So if I want to minus, I can hit minus, and that should deduct it. Again, let me do another one for you. Unfinished basement. And let's do a minus $5,000. Let's save. And it just deducted it and moved it down to 205. So that's going to ultimately adjust the values of your averages of your comparables that you're using. So that does make a difference. So be careful of the numbers you're using, but you can add as many adjustments as needed here. And those will also show up on your report. I'm going to click on this trash button and remove this. And I'm going to go back up here and just close this up. Okay. Now, the order these are in, it's automatically setting up an order. It just pulls them when you pull from Paragon, but you've got a sort option here at the top. So you can actually sort it by how many baths, how many bedrooms, how many days on market, the date it was listed, the list price. Annually is where I can shift them myself, the price per square footage, property type, sold date, sold price, square feet, status, and zip. So you have quite a few different ways to sort this in the order you'd like. I like to do a manual sort myself because I like to keep, obviously, my statuses together, my active, my pending, my closed, and I also like to have them in price from low to high. So if I go to manual, I can actually drag these. You can see the 4 arrows pop up, and I can drag these up and down. So I'm going to go with my lowest price one and move that up. And my next one, my 238, and then 287.9 will be my last one. So I've now created whatever order I want. So, and then if you want something different than this, you can put it in whatever way you want. Again, manually will allow you to do whatever you like. So either way, you can adjust them there. Okay, so if you make any changes to this section, and this map also, you can zoom in and out. You can see here, there's a plus sign in the right corner of your map. So if I want to get closer, or maybe I've got more comparables that are not showing up on my list of my map, I might want to zoom out a little bit, and that way you can see all the properties. And whatever way the view is here, this is what you'll have in your report. If you make changes, then you will need to go to the bottom to customize it, or also at the top of your screen, you also have a customize button too. So you want to make sure you select those. If you are making an edit and you don't select those sections to move you to the next tab, it will not save whatever you just did. So you want to make sure you're saving those changes that you just made. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit customize report. If you didn't do anything this section, you can go right to the tabs at the top, and I can just click on customize in the top left, and it'll take me to that next section without having to reload everything. Now we're at the customize section. So this is where we can add additional pages to our report. We can change our theme, our layout, the fonts, all that can be adjusted right in here. On the right side of your section, this is everything that is in your report as I scroll down here, which is included at this point. So when I created the report, these are the sections I included. If there's something here that I don't want included, I can remove it. And all I have to do is go to that section, and if I touch the header, you'll see on the left, the circle pops up with a minus. You click on it, and it removes it. And what it does is it actually files it over here on the left side of my screen under additional content. So I just removed, I believe those were testimonials, and it drops it back over here for me. So I can still add things back in. So anything I decide I want back in there, I can come in here, and there's a plus sign on the left, select the plus sign, and now it drops it onto the right side of my screen. So now it will be included in my report. So I just added CMA versus appraisal. These can be moved up and down, whatever order you'd like them. You can see the 4 arrow pops up when you're touching each of these sections. So if you left click, drag it, I can move it up, or I can move it back down. So whatever order you'd like your report, you can go ahead and adjust that here. Okay. Watch for things that have edit. Majority of the ones that have edit, like your agent resume, is one you have to create. So if you haven't gone in and actually customized this and created your resume, which I will show you how to do, you'll want to remove it from the report at this point. Otherwise, you'll have a blank sheet. So I'm going to remove my agent resume. Okay. And again, you can come back and add it back in. So you have all these different sections. It breaks it down for you. So you can find whatever you're looking for. There's a lot of material. So when you have time, you create one of these reports, you might want to take a look at them, go through and see what you like or what you don't like, add some custom pages, and then you can create whatever report you'd like with whatever pages you want to include. If you go down a little bit further here on the left, you're going to see a section that says Power Pack pages. These are an additional charge. So if you use anything in here, they will charge you for it. I'm not sure if they give you a free time to try, some type of trial, but there is a charge for premium pages. There's a lot of content. I don't use the premium pages. Do I feel you need them? Not really, because there is quite a bit. But again, it's up to you. If you find there's something in there that really would help you out, you're welcome to try it out and see how it works for you. On the right side, again, back to the top of the screen where it says your CMA report, these are the options you can adjust. So first thing is your theme. This is the colors that you're using in the report and what type of report you want. So if I'm going to click on theme, and at the top of my page, you'll see I've got modern red and black. I try to match it with logo colors. I find is just so it looks kind of a little bit like my logo that I use for my office, and make the report look kind of consistent with that. You don't have to do that. You can use any color you'd like. You click on this box. It will show you all the different options you have. There's two types of reports. You have a modern report, which is newer. And then if you go down a little bit further, probably about halfway down, you have your classic reports. These are the original reports we started with. So if I click on one of these, you can take a look and see the difference because it will show you a quick view of a few pages. The biggest difference I find between the classic and the modern, the classic has these headers, colored headers on top and bottom of every page. The bottom section will actually include your contact information, phone number, address, and different items that you can add in under settings. Where the modern, if I go back to my modern page, you'll see that it doesn't offer that. That's same color, red and black. Okay, so you can see the difference here. So it does still have my contact information, but you don't have those colored headers and footers at the top and bottom of every page. So that's really the main difference between your modern and classic. The layout itself is a little different too when you go through it. So you may want to try one of each and see which one you like, better. And whichever one you decide to go with, you select Choose Theme at the bottom. There's also in here at the very bottom, let's see, they still have those, they might have moved them to the top. There were a couple in here, which I don't see them. There used to be one with a for sale sign. It looks like they've removed them. I think they removed them when they added the modern. There was a for sale sign and a key and things like that. Just had a photo on it. If your office has one that's been created for them, for their franchise, you may see something under branded that you don't see on mine. So if they do have one, which my office has one, you select it. It should show a preview of the branded version they have. And I'm taking a second here to load. If nothing pops up, then they may not be an option for it. And I'm wondering if this is just our name in there without the option. We do have a MiRealSource. Everyone should have that. It's black and gold. And that has a couple things that are customized in there for you too. So again, if you want to just go through and select whichever one you want to use right now, or go back to the one you originally had, you can. And I'll go back to my modern red and black one. Okay, so that's your theme. The next one is going to be the layout. This is going to show how you want the comparables to show up and what you want to include in your pages. If you select layout to the right, you have 6 options. If you want to condense your report so there isn't as many pages, if you use these last two, which is a 4-column comparison, which is a side-by-side comparison of all the comparables you selected, 3-column comparison, 2-column comparison, that is going to adjust the size of your report itself. So maybe you're doing another report for your client, you already have it listed, you just want a price reduction, but you want to go ahead and throw a report together for them. You might at that point want to just include the side-by-side comparison, so it's only a 20-page report instead of a 50-page report. Okay, so that will definitely condense it. The other 3 options you have is photo with maximum data, 2 photos, and photo with map. So these are individually for each comparable. This includes a photo with a map that has 2 photos from that, and then it has as much information as it finds in the listing itself included. So you can select any of these. Again, it'll be a larger report, but this will also include as much information as you need your client to see. So I usually use photo with max data, or sometimes I use photo with map, but I'm going to do the max data at this point. If you look under there, you've got cover. The cover options, again, this is going to be that power pack. There's a couple things in here. These are going to be an upgrade, so you will have to pay for these. They look nice, but you will have your cover page is the photo of the house, and usually it has a nice color photo and the property address. So again, this is going to be additional fee. It does say try covers for free, but I believe it's a trial period. I'm going to X that out to get rid of it. To the right of cover is font. I can now select what font I want to use. With the fonts, whatever you select is going to be for the whole report. So you're not, selecting a section of it to include that font. It's going to be the same way throughout. So if you want to take a look at them, there isn't too many in here. They're pretty easy to read. So it just depends on your client. You may want something larger, maybe if it's someone that wears glasses or needs something easier to read. You might want to use something more bold and larger print. Or you can use some of these others. Again, they're all pretty good fonts. So you want to select whichever one you want to use. And I'm going to go back actually to my top one. And that's it for your selections. Now, once you have everything selected, this will stay the same way for the next time you open this up. So that means My theme, my layout, my font are going to be the same. And the pages I've selected here will all be included. So what it does, it keeps as a default each time, but then I can make adjustments again. So if I just created this and added a few extra pages in here and selected the things the way I want it, I can save this as a template and then I can load it the next time. So if you look again at the top here under your CMA report to the very right, it says template. If you select templates, you're going to see there are templates already created here for you. And then there's an area where you can create your own. So I have some already done. I have all selected, but if I go to built-in, these are the templates that's been saved for you. If I just added some things in and I want to save this and rename it for myself so I know next time to select it for, you know, a pre-listing package or a listing appointment, then I can select Save as Template. I've got 30 pages right now. And then I can name it whatever I'd like and then hit Save. And then what that'll do is it won't be in your built-in, it will be under Custom. So if you look under my Customs, I've got quite a few in here that I've created myself. So the next time I come in here, I can just go ahead and select if I want one for like a pre-listing package with just the 12 pages that I'm selecting, I can select that. And it's now going to load the pages that I prefer to have in there for this type of report. So I would name it, if you are saving them, name it so you know what it's for. So for example, this was a pre-listing package. You look at some of my other customs. I do have one for lead gen. I've got one for my buyers. I have another package for new listing, a CMA, my listing appointment. So I have this one includes a lot more. So again, whatever you need, you can put in there and save as a template, name it, and it'll be there for you next time. So you won't have to select and remove and add and so forth. You can just select that template, let it load, and your pages are in for you. So it's a huge time saver. So I would suggest when you have time, go ahead and do this. If you made changes today and you'd like to save one, you are welcome to do that. Again, it's go into your custom and go up to the top where it says Save as Template. Just make sure you name it and hit Save, and you should be good. Okay, so these are all of our templates that we have in here. If you select all, it shows them all together, custom and the built-in. Alrighty, so that is everything we can modify in here. So I've got everything set up now. So I've included the pages I'd like. I've selected my color theme, my font, my layout, and now I'm ready to go. So now I'm going to create my report. So if you look to the right here, it says Publish Report. And if you look at the very bottom, should have Publish Report again. So either one will take you to the next section, and it's now going to create it. So now what it's actually going to do is save all the changes that I made. So just give it a second here, loads the name of it, and at the bottom left here, you can see it's publishing. So it has saved all the changes. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and open it. So you have an option to view PDF and view slideshow. So if I select view PDF, it should download it to my computer, and I should be able to open it. And then you can see my finished report. Here's the change I made. So any changes you made at that point will show up here. Anything you modified, any pages, but you can see this is the modern reports. You can see I don't have the headers to top and bottom, but I do have the very bottom of my page, my contact information. Scroll this up. There it is. It's in the bottom left corner. So it does still have my photo and my contact info, even though I don't have that full colored footer with all the information there. So everything should be here. Then you can go ahead and go through the report and take a look at the pages, see what you like. And they are named for what you selected. So if you find, if I go down to the very end here after all of my comps, I'm going to see some of these analysis pages, like a sold property analysis. If you find something in here you don't like or you don't want to use, just look for what the top of it says for the name, the header, and then go back in and edit and remove that one. Just add it to the left side of your screen, and you can remove it from this report. So here's my sold property analysis, and there should be a few more in here too. Yeah, this is that one I added CMA versus appraisal. Okay, and that's it. So that's how you edit and view the changes you made. Does anyone have any questions? Is there any chat or any questions right now, Deb?
We're looking good so far.
Okay, perfect. If I'm going too fast or if I've missed something or didn't answer a question, please go ahead and chat with Deb, and she can stop me and I can show you again or answer whatever question you have at that point. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Cloud CMA. Now you have a slideshow. The slideshow, you can actually send it to your client. They can view it themselves, but I like using this when I'm sitting with my client. And the reason being is my PDFs are usually pretty large. You know, a lot of times they're 50, 60, 70 pages, and I don't want to sit and scroll through all those. So I like clicking on View Slideshow. This is made really for a tablet, an iPad, and once you have it on here, you can actually swipe through the pages, but it can be used on your computer or laptop also, so you can still walk through it. The difference is instead of swiping, you have arrows in the bottom right corner of your screen. So this is what the report looks like. If I click this arrow to the right, it loads my contact information first. And then if I click the arrow again, it shows the map with the properties I selected. Click it again, and it gives me a little byline about sold homes. Now, if you notice in the bottom right corner of my screen, under the house, there's another arrow. So the arrow to the right will take you to the next section, but if there's an arrow down, there's more information for that section. So this just gives you a little byline about sold homes. It talks about recent home sales. You click the arrow to the right again, it's going to show me my first property. When you look at the properties, you'll notice that it's very limited information at the top here. So on the left, you've got your property address, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and the square footage. On the right, price it sold for, it closed, and the date it closed for, or the date it was closed. But if you look at the bottom right corner, I only have the front view of my picture, but if I arrow down, here's my additional photos. If I arrow down again, there's my photos again. And again, if I'm on my iPad, I'm swiping. So you can see all the additional interior photos here. Click the arrow to the right, I go to my next comp. And again, if you click the arrow down, additional photos are here. And when you see this more photos box, you can click on that and it'll open up the next section for you too. Either one, you can arrow down. Okay, so there's all the photos for this one. They're really nice photos, high res, very clear and clean. And like I said, I find this is the easiest when I'm sitting with my potential seller to walk through and take a look at those photos and interiors of those homes to try to compare pricing to get them a better idea on list price. Once you get through all of the comps, it's going to give you a couple little bylines here, average or comparable homes. There's 4 sold and the average price. Arrow over again. My analysis of the sold homes, so it does break everything down for you from the list to sold price, the percentage, the days on market, dollar per square foot. It also gives you how many days on market and how many have sold for an average of that price. So 96.9% is the average of the list price that they're selling for. If I arrow to the right again, my suggested list price. So when you add that list price or that price range, this comes on this page. It's also in your PDF too. You'll have a page with this also showing it. So I did just the price at $240. If I had the range, it would have the $230, $240, whatever amount you put in. To the right, talks about what the next steps get started. Go to the right again, and there's a thank you. If you look underneath the thank you, if I want more information, I can pull that full CMA right from here and download it. I can also email them a copy right from here. And again, you can see my contact information here, but I can still open up that PDF right from here instead of going back to get that open. Okay, so that is your slideshow. And I'm going to go back now to my reports. And then in the top right corner here, you've got these 3 dots. You select those. This is where I can copy the link for the PDF, the slideshow. And I usually like to copy and paste them in my own email and forward them to my client. Or if you want to just email it, you can send it right from here. Just select email report, put in my client's information, and then send it from here. It does show it's coming from you. The only thing I find when I send it from here is that I don't see something to show me that it went through. So that's why I prefer to send it from my own email. But you could always include yourself in this to make sure it's received. They can also send you a copy too at the same point. But what it does is it sends the link. And the reason it sends a link, and the reason you don't want to include an attachment for that PDF, most likely your PDF is going to be pretty large. A lot of times it's too large to attach. So if you select this link, if you copy it and add it into your email or just send it right from here, when they click on it, it will download the PDF version right to their computer. So this is the best way to send it. And then contact information from there. And you can see at the bottom, I can select PDF and slideshow, or I can select one or the other, but it does automatically put in the links for me, and I can send those all over to them right away. And that's how you send your reports. And if you go back here to the 3 dots, you can also create home beats. And Deb, is that up and running yet? Do you know?
I don't believe so. I think it is still a start, but
okay.
We just haven't given any thought to it, honestly.
Okay, yeah, with everything going on right now. This is another app that's being added. I know we were on beta for a while. We were testing it out. So I haven't heard much more about it, but there will be more coming on it. We need to get through what we are going through right now and teach you what we've got already before they start adding more stuff right now. So, but there will be more information about the home beat. Delete report, you can delete report right from here. So if you're testing these or you do a couple just playing with them, you can remove it right from here. Okay. Any questions to go back in to modify any report that you've completed at this point? Again, if anyone wants to chat or even put your hand up, I can always unmute you too. Watch to see if I have any hands up here. I don't have anything. Do you have anything, Deb?
Actually, I see Marie Demansky has her hand up. So Marie, was there something you'd like to add? So Marie, you're unmuted.
Sorry about that. It was, my hand was up by accident.
I love push. I'll do that. I push buttons like, oh, oops.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so everyone else is pretty good where we're at? Yeah. Anything else?
See, that's the thing about your classes, Lisa. You're very thorough and it doesn't leave room for a lot of questions.
Well, thank you. I hope that's the case, and hopefully I'm not just totally lost them and they're looking at me like, what is she doing? Okay, so that's how we do adjustments. So let's take a look at the other options you have at the top of your screen. You've got a buyer tour, a property report, a flyer, and the home beat. Buyer tour, if you select that at the top left, this creates a nice report for your buyers. Instead of printing your listings in the client view, the client full package, or MLS client view, this will actually bring over those MLS numbers for you into here and create a report. And I've got one already created, but I can show you how to do one also. And if you go to Paragon, the top left of your screen, it should still be up somewhere. And I'm going to go ahead and just go to search residential. I'm going to pull up one of my old searches just to make this quick. So I have some listings. That's all I'm looking for, some active listings. So if you have searches you've done, you should have about 15 in your last search button here under search residential. And you kind of have to read these, or they're abbreviated to see what they are, but I'm going to find one that has some actives in here for me. And the idea is to pull the listings that you're going to be showing your clients. So I'm going to pull some actives. Let's see what we can find here. I've been running comps recently, so this one's got some actives. Let's see if we can find any in this one. I'm going to go ahead and load that real quick. And oh yeah, there we go. So let's change this to 350 so I don't have 77 popping up here. Okay, 22, perfect. I'm gonna hit search. And it's the same concept as when you're running your search for your comps that you're gonna pull into Cloud. You're gonna find your active properties here first, select which ones you're showing them. So we'll just grab a couple here. Let's see, let me put them all in the same area, or it's gonna have me all over the place. So let's do some of these element ones. Okay, so I've got a few listings here. And the action button where you run your Cloud CMA and you pull those listings in is right here in the top middle of your header. So I've selected them, I check marked them. You go to action. If I was doing comps, you would go to Cloud CMA, but I'm going to do a buyer tour. So I'm going to go Cloud CMA buyer tour. And it's now going to pull those listings into Cloud for me and start me in the first of the 4 sections for my buyer tour. So just like the CMA, you're going through 4 different tabs, same tabs pretty much: criteria, listings, customize, publish. Okay. So you would put in your client's name. So whoever is your buyer, it will show you the listing MLS numbers right here for you. You can add more at this point, comma, type it in, copy, paste it, whichever. Or you can remove things also from here, and then you would fetch listings. I'll pull the listings that I have at the next page. I can here to load them. And then at that point, I can put them in the order that I'll be showing them. So you'll have your map. Go down a little bit further. And then here's the listing. So now I'm going to want to put them in the order that we will be seeing them. So that way it'll be easy for my client to make notes as they go through. So I'll sort these by manual, or again, I can do these by location, by zip code, whichever way you want. Whatever you select, it will resort them for you. And then you can customize your reports. Again, you can still add another listing here, or still uncheck anything here that you don't want to show them at this point if they change their mind and you end up canceling something. And keep in mind too, same thing for making changes to this. When you hit the edit, it's going to take you back to those 4 steps again. And then here you can add and remove what you like. So again, obviously this is different than your comparables. You're going to look for some type of layout and the items that you want to include for them. So right now I've got home buying process in here, map of the listing. They've got a buyer comment sheet, photos, schools, area restaurants, why buyers need their own real estate agent, home buying goals. Again, a lot of pre-written information for you. You can add or remove just by clicking on the circles on the left or coming back here top left. And if there's things in here, you can add those in too. Okay. And then you want to make the changes on and go up here to your theme. I'm going to keep my same color. Layout, the options are only 3. Photo with map, 2 photos, or photo with max data. So it's the first 3 that you have for an option in your full CMA report. I like max data. And if you want a different font, you can. Otherwise, it keeps the same as the last one. Then you're going to publish your report. And then you can email it to your clients. You can print it for them, have it, hand it to them when you go for showings. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's a much nicer report for showing. So let me go ahead and find one of my other ones that was actually for a client. Just like that. Here. Now, where are they? Oh, they are getting down. So I'm going to view the PDF on this so you can see what you've got. Okay, so it's 28 pages. This one has the map. Here's the addresses of properties that I took them to. And as I scroll down, here's the first property. I included a lot of information for this client because they were relocating from another state. So they didn't know the area well, so I wanted to make sure he had a lot of information. So I did photo with a map on this one. There's more photos. And this page, I really like this buyer comment page because they can mark how many stars. They can put any comments, anything to remind them about the house as you're walking through them. And then there's more details. Next one. And my buyer comments for this one. Okay, I only kept the first, we were doing a lot of new construction areas, so I only had the first photos on there, but you can add more photos where it shows all the photos. Again, it's gonna be a really large report, but you can include more. And then once you get through the properties we were saying, down a little further here, it's gonna be, let's see if I included more area information. Let's see on this one. Okay. It looks like I removed them. There is a section for area restaurant. Let me close this up. Let me go back to the one that I just said. It should be done now. And here it is. So I had area restaurants in here and schools, which again, if they're relocating from another state or from a completely different area, that might be good information for them. So this one I believe I included more photos. So all the photos are included on this one that we just did as a test. Area schools, area restaurants. And then I included more pages with information. So there's a lot you can include here for a buyer tour. Again, really nice to have if you have somebody coming in and doesn't know much about these homes or the location, about the schools and things like that. They might like this information. Or you can add as little as you want. You can include just the listings like I had for my other client. Okay, so that's your buyer tour. And you can do that again by going through Paragon, finding those active listings, check marking them, hit that action link here in the middle, and hit buyer tour instead of CMA. Same stuff. If let's go back here. Let me close this out. I've got too many things open here. Let me go back to my buyer tours here. So if you want to make changes, same as the Cloud CMA, edits in the bottom right corner. If I want to email this, I can email it right from here or copy the link. There is a slideshow view of it too. So whichever way you want to give it to them. I know some agents will take their own iPad and they'll actually send it to their iPad and hand their client the iPad to look at, as they're going through, driving from one house to the other. Another option. Okay, so those are your buyer tours. Any questions about those? Is there anything, Deb?
Nope, none so far.
Okay, good. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the other two here, this property and flyer. These are great for your listings. Property report gives you a lot more information. Flyer is just like your one-page flyer that you would leave at your open house. Property report can be used for your open house also. But if you've got a property listed, I'm going to take you back to Paragon. So if you want to open up your Paragon page, you actually have a shortcut in a listing. So let me go to one of these active listings. You open up any listing. You actually have two little links here under your legacy full agent or agent detail with map. So you see these two CMAs. They're called CMAs. So one is the property report, one is a flyer. So if I go to my own listing and I want to create one, all I have to do is click on the property. Say I want a property report. I click on this little link. It's going to take me into Cloud. And it's going to take you through the steps, the 4 steps again, to create that report. So again, you're going to put the name of the report here. It's got the MLS number, fetch listing, and then it's going to take me into the listings to customize and publish. Same thing, same steps. I know we're getting kind of short on time, and I want to make sure I get through settings, so I'm going to kind of fly through this one a little bit quicker. But I'm going to go to one of my property reports to show you what it looks like. So once you complete the 4 steps, you can open up the PDF on this and take a look at this one. And I have used these in my listings before. And here is one of them. So this is one of the listings I had. It has my photo, property information, public remarks, features. I included all the photos, area schools, area restaurants, and again, there's other material you can add or remove too if you like it or don't like it. So that's your property report. So that's going to give you multiple pages of information about whatever property you have selected in Paragon that you've selected that little shortcut, that CMA. The flyer, same thing. You'll click on that. It's going to take you through the 4 steps just like we did earlier. I'm going to take you and show you what a flyer looks like. Here's one I have already created, so we'll add that for one of my listings. So we'll look at this one. And when I open this flyer up, and this one I think I had in my listing also, you can see it's just a 1-page report. So what it does includes these photos. You have 12 different flyers you can select, so whichever one you prefer. Some have all photos, some have 1 photo, and some remarks. You know, it's up to you which one you want to include. But what this does is it also will give you an option to open up. This QR code will open up a full property report about that property also. So it will give me the additional pages that I showed you in that property report by someone scanning this QR code. And it does the same thing. But these are also, again, another nice flyer to drop into your listing or for an open house, or that property report's always good too. All right, so those are your 2 options. Go back here for your property and your flyers. Any questions about those? I know I kind of went through that pretty quick. Everyone's comfortable? Anything, Deb?
No, we're looking good so far.
Still good? Okay. All right, perfect. So I am going to show you settings and lead generation. So that's the last couple things. So if there's a question right now about anything I didn't show you, I can answer that right now too. Go ahead and put your hand up or send a chat to Deb. I can show that. Otherwise, I'm going to take you through the settings right now so we can make some changes in there. Sounds good? Okay. All right. So in the top right corner, you want to get back to your Cloud CMA. So you'll want to click on your tab. And if you've been clicking with me, you're probably all over the place, but click on the tab that shows Cloud, or it might be, sometimes we'll drop it at the bottom right of your page. So if you click the bottom right, just look for Cloud CMA, it'll open up in there for you too. Okay. We want to go to our photo. And if you don't have a photo, you probably have just initials. And if you only have initials, I'm going to show you how to add your photo. It's going to be in the top right corner of your screen. And once you select that, you select Account Settings. And the first page is going to have where your photo comes in. So this Change Avatar, that will allow you to select a photo from your computer and drop it in. So just make sure wherever you're making this change, you actually have a photo there. So just you'll drop it in and it'll drop it in there for you. Make sure your name, company name is correct. If you want to add your company logo, you can. You can click on this page. It will allow you to select the logo from your laptop or desktop or whatever you're using. Make sure your email is correct, city, state, and then you'll want to save that if you make any changes. Okay, so that's your first section. On the left side of your screen, you can see we've got a few tabs over here. So we were on our profile, we're going to go to Contact Info. Contact Info is the information that you see on the report in the bottom left corner of the modern report that I used for my CMA, where it had my name. I have my name on mine, the office address, my mobile, the office number, and my email. So that is going to be, this is the area you'll want to make that change. Also, if you use the classic report, it's going to be in the footer, in that colored box at the bottom of every one of your pages. So please make sure this is correct. If you're going to send this to a client, you want to make sure they have your correct contact information. If you look at the contact list at the bottom, make sure that everything there is what you want. If you don't, you can't edit these, but you can remove them and add it correctly. And the way you do this is there's a trash can to the right of each one of these sections. So whichever one's incorrect, you just hit the trash, Then you're going to go back to the top here, and these are the items you can add in. You select the drop-down menu on contact method. You've got blog, DRE number, I don't believe we use here, designation, email, Facebook link, fax, LinkedIn. So any of this information you want included, you can go ahead and click on it, and then type in the information here to the right of it. And then that will add it into your actual report. So you'll see those again on the modern, it's going to be in the bottom left corner. On your classic report, it'll be in the bottom of each page in the footer. So it'll be in the colored section down there. If you go to the left of your screen again, we're going to go back to these tabs. Password, please skip. If you make any changes to your password, you're going to have a problem getting in. It is a single sign-on. So from Paragon, once I log into Paragon, I can click that link right from resources, takes me right into Cloud. If you make changes, then you're going to start having errors, so please don't make a change. If you have problems, though, and you can't get in, please call our tech support. They will get this fixed for you. If you go down further, this is the MLS credentials, and then you've got custom pages. If you select custom pages, those were the different pages that we could add into a report, and the ones that we can modify are in here. So like our resume, our cover letter, our marketing action plan, our company. So anything that you want to make changes to, you can come in here. There's a pencil to the right. So for example, agent resume, which I really don't have much on mine. And you would just come in here and copy and paste it in, type it all up, whatever way you'd like. And then you can save that, and that will save the change for you. Everything you do in this section saves it for every one of your reports. So what it's doing is giving you the option now to add these every time you create a report for whatever changes. So the change will be a default for you. Same thing if you go down a little bit further here, I've got custom PDF pages, and I can upload anything I'd like. So I've got our GLR in here. You can add in anything you'd like to include in your report, and then you can select them when you're creating those CMA reports. If you want to include it, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. And I can create something from scratch. So I can name it. So maybe I have something for my company, something that we've got typed up that I like to use. I can hit company, hit add, and then it'll allow me to type or copy and paste whatever I'd like. It will drop it into your custom page list, and then you have that option to add it when you're creating those reports. So those are your custom pages. And that's basically it for settings. Does anyone have any questions about the custom pages or making changes to your photo or your contact information? Are we good?
Looking good.
Okay.
I love those
Right.
custom pages in there.
I'm sorry.
I love the custom pages in there and the fact
Oh,
that
I
you
do
can
too.
upload. Yeah.
I do.
Upload
You
your
could
market stats graph. I love it.
Yes. Yep. You can include market stats, anything that is important, especially if you're going on a listing presentation. You want to have a nice report for them. Obviously, more information you give them, the better. So you can add in whatever. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is one of my favorites, is the lead generation tool. If you look in the top right corner again, where we went for our settings, where your photo is, if you go down, there's one that says lead generation. Go ahead and select that for me. What lead generation does is it creates a link wherever you'd like to place it. You have the option of putting it on, embed it into your own website, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Pinterest. And what it does is it gives you this page where it says, what is my home worth? So you may have seen these already, but the nice thing about this link is what it does is it sends them, it opens it up for them. They put in their property address. They have to put in their address and their name and their email address. And then they have an option of putting in their phone number. And then it creates a quick report for them, a quick CMA, and it sends it to them, and it sends you a copy. And then it also sends you their information. So therefore, I can see that now what this person received from clicking on my link, and I can contact them and do an actual real report for them, because the one it sends them is a quick one, and it basically gives everything around in the area. So it's not really specific as it would be as you creating one as an agent. Okay. So let me show you how this looks. I'm actually going to do one right now. So you're going to click on it. And if you'd like to go ahead and post one, you are welcome to do it. It will give you this post right here. And 1 second, I have to keep moving this, I'm sorry. And I want to go to, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back a step here. It just shows you what it is, but I'm going to go back to the lead generation. I'm sorry. What we want to do is actually click on what we're sharing it to first. That was just showing you what the link looks like. But if you go down further, I'm going to click on Facebook because I want to send it there. So yours should still be open if you didn't find it. If you scroll down to the bottom of your page, you should still have this page. So just go down to Facebook because that's where you want to share it from. And it will pop up like this at the bottom, at the top first here where it says share to newsfeed. I usually like to share it to my own business page. You can do it to your personal page if you like, or I prefer to do to my business page first, and then I will share it from there on my personal. So I can go down to share on a page you manage, and the link is right here in the middle. And what I'm going to do is type something about this link. So if I just throw this on my Facebook, they're not going to have a clue what it is. I want to type something in here to catch their attention, so they do, click on it. You can put something in there as inventory is still low, and we are in need of more listings. Obviously, right now it's not as easy to show them, but spring market here. See what's recent activity is in your area. Whatever. Again, me trying to think of the spot doesn't always work out so well. So just want at least 2 lines, 2 to 3 is great. And then you're going to select post. And again, to Facebook. And I'm going to actually post it on my own page just to myself, because I just did this recently. It's not something you want to post like every other day. It's great to do every few weeks and every month, but I'm just going to do it on my news feed, and I'm going to just post it to myself. So 1 second here. Sorry, I have a little screen that none of you can see, which is everyone's information on here, and I have to keep shifting it to find what I need, and it's not letting me get down to where I want it. I'll just put it on my Facebook anyways, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to post to Facebook. I was just trying to show it to just me so no one else could see it, but I posted it. And if you're going to post it, do to your page that you manage or post it to everyone. And then I'm going to go into my Facebook. If you are not logged into your Facebook on your computer, it's going to ask you to log in. So that'll be the next step. And I'm going to go over to my page, see if it came through. It should post right on your Facebook page or Twitter or wherever you ended up putting it. Let's see if it actually came through or not. Here it is. Okay, so here's one I just posted. So this came to my personal page. And so inventory is still low. We're need more listings. Spring market is here. Activity. So what they're going to do is they're going to click on this, which I was showing you earlier, and they're going to type in the property address, and it's going to locate it for them. So if I just put in property right now, should locate it, select it, find it. Then they have to put in their name, email, phone number is optional, and then they can also, it's optional for them to put the square footage. But you will at least get their name and their email. Once they've created this report, it's going to email it to them. It's going to email a copy to you. It'll be in your email, but it's also going to be under your cloud. I'm going to go under CMA, and I have some in here from the last time I did this. It will be, the CMA itself will also show up in here on the next page, and you will see an actual icon for whatever way you shared it. So whatever social media you use, it will be in there. So this is the one I did last time. You can see there's a little Facebook icon there, and I can view what they saw right from here. So again, it's a quick CMA. It includes a lot of things that I would not use. Don't include things that are not the same size. It might include some expireds. It's a little bit of everything. But again, the idea is just to get their attention, for you to get the lead with contact information, and then you can actually contact them and do a real CMA for them, and one that's more accurate. But you can see here's the report, contact me page. What is the CMA? Pops up in here. There's the comps it pulled. And I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit further here for you so you can see. But you can see my price range varies, and I got some 355s in here. I got 400, 459. So it's a huge variation. And then it gives a summary report, and then it starts giving them the actual properties. And as they go through them, it's going to give them some more information at the end with the statistics on it. And then it also will give them this why you need a real estate professional. Okay. So again, a great way to capture leads, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So again, just to show you real quick where that's at, so you can get back to it. Under Cloud CMA, you're going to go to that right corner where your photo is. and go to lead generation. And then select which type of social media you'd like to share it on at the bottom here. When you select it, it'll walk you through the pages you need to do to post it. So, and that's it. So it's that simple. So again, this works. If you use this on occasion, it does. So any questions at this point, or?
None so far. Olivia Budney was very thankful, and I know getting a lot of chats back to me how thankful they are for you going over these step-by-step instructions.
Yep, exactly. No problem at all. Also, I know Deb, you wanted to mention something about the GLR, the data sharing.
Oh yeah, so that was one of your uploads, was the map of all of our data sharing, which, you know, we've been touting the GLR for years now, but we've actually grown beyond the GLR. That's the Great Lakes Repository. I remember when I used to work for the association, there you go. When I worked for the association years ago, I remember MiRealSource coming in and doing a presentation about data sharing. And look at that. And now here we are. So the Great Lakes Repository is the stuff in blue. Then add the stuff in green. All those dots in green is the Northern Great Lakes Realtors MLS. So we have an agreement with NGLAR to share data. You'll find that under your resources tab. So it's a direct link into their Paragon. So if you guys haven't tested that out, it is really cool. But you do need to go through the preferences wizard, just like you would your own Paragon. The big blob in the middle, Lansing. Lansing has a huge footprint in this state because they haven't shared data in many, many years. So when you pull out everybody else and just look at Lansing, they go from the West Coast to the East Coast. They have a huge footprint. Now, all of their data is in our Paragon as well. And even Bay County, right up there in the, what do you call it, the webbing of the thumb? Bay County is now sharing their data with us as well. And these are beyond RealComp. These are agreements that RealComp doesn't have. And the next one that's coming up that Brian Alford, our Director of Technology, or Chief, he's our Chief Information Officer now, sorry. He is busy mapping in all the information for MISHRIC. That's the Michigan Regional Information Exchange on the west coast of Michigan. So that's where Lisa is pointing to. All that stuff is going to be coming to you here soon. So as soon as we can get out and about to start showing homes physically as opposed to virtually, we'll be able to have all that information. Hey, and wouldn't it be great, because this new change in industry, how we're doing virtual showings? Wouldn't that be really nice to do a virtual showing on the west side of the state? Just saying, instead of having to drive all the way over. But that's being mapped in, and you'll see that. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa.
No problem. Someone asked about how will we put this up on our website? I'm not sure if they're asking about putting in like the data, the GLR data, or was it actually doing the lead generation?
Susan.
You know who asked that? I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah. So Susan, what do you want to put on your website? That map of all the data? Is what, she's probably not listening for a second. Somebody else has got her attention.
Yeah. Is
So
she
you can actually...
Hi, yep, I'm here. I was wondering about that lead generation page, the how to get a value for your home. How can we put that link on our website?
So if you do the lead generation, you have an option to embed. Yeah, it looks like she wants to embed it. So if you look in the top right corner again, if you go to that picture under Cloud CMA and go to lead generation, and if you go down a little bit further where the share section is, there's an embed here on the left. So if you click on that, that actually gives you the URL right here. You're going to copy that code and then drop it wherever you'd like.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem at all. Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we didn't have many, so I'm hoping I answered most of them. Is there any others? Because we are pretty much done with the class. We went through quite a bit.
Yep. And we did 3 webinars today. So tonight I will try to work on getting some of those edited and then uploaded to our YouTube channel.
Perfect.
All right.
Wonderful.
You're welcome,
So
Dawn. Good to see you here.
For anybody else for questions? Nope, sounds good. Okay. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. I hope it was helpful. Again, don't forget your handouts are on the right side of your screen. So just look for the handouts, and there are 2 PDFs. So you should be able to click on them and download them right to your computer. Those will be very helpful. Try to go back in there and use it again. If you wait too long, you're going to forget a lot of this. So, but everything's there for you. And again, our texts are always around to help too if you get stuck. And hope to see everyone in another class. Everyone stay safe and healthy. And if there's anything else, let us know. I'll be on for another minute or so. And otherwise, everyone have a great day and happy
Awesome.
Easter.
Thank you. Hey, don't forget, we have new Paragon updates coming out tomorrow. And then Thursday, we have Mixing It Up with MiRealSource and the virtual showings. So that is going to show you a little more in depth on how to do a virtual showing and an open house with the new updates in Paragon that are coming out tomorrow.
That's great. Awesome. All right. Is there anything else, Deb, that I can answer or anything I missed?
I think we're good. Thank
We're
you,
good.
Lisa, as always.
All right. No problem. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Hope to see you in some other, well, can't see you, but hope to hear you in some of our other webinars. Take as many as you want. This is a great time to be, learning all this. So, and we should be good. All right, everyone, have a good day. Thanks, Deb.
Great. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.